Well, hi, Dan. I want to say that I enjoyed meeting you at the Vlogvetica get-together up in San Francisco. It was a lot of fun. I think it's a wonderful thing that you and your vlog mates come out and meet your public, because I think your public truly adores you, and that's an important thing. We talked a little bit. I was very fortunate to get the opportunity to chat with you a little bit about your open letter to educators, and being an educator, I felt that you were speaking to me, and so I'd like to speak to you as well. Consider this an open letter to Dan, if you will. One of the points that you make in your video is that the information age and internet making information available in particular changes the whole nature of the game in terms of how education is going to be delivered, and I disagree. I mean, first and foremost, I think that as revolutionary as the internet is in terms of making information available, I think that in terms of actual social change, it pales in comparison, and I do mean this literally, it pales in comparison to the advent of the movable type printing press. I think that was the single most significant event in human history in terms of making information available, because that made books suddenly affordable and available to the masses. But you find that it didn't really change institutionalized information. I meant institutionalized education. I mean, honestly, institutionalized information? Who talks like that? Except that there was a little bit less reliance on the learned scholar, because there was now a little bit more empowerment, since knowledge could be passed down through books. In the same sense, the internet changes the way that information is available to the masses. And I think you're correct in assessing that the cost associated with it continues to drop. But unfortunately, what happens as well as the availability of information is that there is also a considerable availability of misinformation. And this is where education comes in, because the methods and the ways in which people interact with information is what's determined by an education. And there is no substitute for that. If you want to tell the difference between meaningful, valuable information and crap, it requires an education, so that you can understand how to interact with information in a way that you can apply a test of reasonableness or tests of common sense, things of that nature. Because that's the game, Dan. It's not about the information. It's about what you do with the information, how you think about it, how you share those thoughts with others, how you listen to other people's thoughts about that information, and how you assess that. That's what education is about, Dan Brown. And that's the thing. If education isn't about the information, but rather about how you think about it, why did new means of getting information change the nature of what education is? Dan, I'd like to address the comment that you made about quitting school because school was interfering with your learning. I think it's important to find a paradigm of learning that works for you, and what works for you may be very different than what works for another person. And it's important to keep that in mind so that you can keep yourself focused in doing the things that are important to you. But really, regardless of the paradigm of education that you choose, the one that works best for you, remember what education is. It's not about amassing facts. It's about learning how to think creatively about those facts. And if you're really good, sharing those ideas with other people. I think it's wonderful that you're taking your channel in a direction of encouraging this kind of conversation, because I think that you're very engaging to young people, and I think that the input that the young people have is fantastic. I say you go, I say get all your pogo bats to go, and I look forward to seeing what comes out in the future, because I expect to find it to be educational.